Breaking the News with the Chris and Andre Show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to one of the new, most popular segments of the Chris and Andre Show, Breaking the News. We know that you don't have time to stay up with all the latest and greatest breaking news across the world, so we do our best to bring it to you in 10 minutes or less. With that, I'm going to go ahead and kick things off.
Let's talk about this. NFTs, that was one of those wonderful little gimmicks that people love to talk about. They do not make money. They will not make you money. They will not make you money. Can I say it enough? Let's get into this headline. Man who paid the $2.9 million for Jack Dorsey's first tweet ever barely got an offer of $800 in an auction. So if we could please just stop with the NFT hype wagon and bandwagon, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm on board, not on that wagon, but on getting off of the wagon. I know that was a really confusing way to kind of frame that all. But I have not understood the idea behind NFTs from the very beginning. It seems like a major ripoff. We've talked about it a couple of times on the show. So I'm not surprised that somebody paid $2.9 million for something and got $800 in return. Good on you, investor, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than you got, man.
Yeah, and with that, next
up, Don Jr. in the news, not for doing cocaine this time, or supposedly doing cocaine, but because he's decided he's going to take on Google, Facebook, all the other news aggregators out there and build his own. He's calling it MXM. Don't know or care what that stands for. Seems to think that somehow just by creating something, much like his father, that it will become the best thing ever. I'm sure, much like his father, it will fail to really produce anything of any substance.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. When I first read that article, I was like, what are we doing? The problem they're going to have is that the way people consume news is completely different than what they think. The aggregators that he's trying to go against are very well established in Apple, Google, and Facebook isn't really news, but it's just it's not even a good idea. I don't know what line of coke took him over the edge to get him to think that was a good idea, but he should stop doing coke. Next. Well, this isn't really news. It's just something that's been happening to me for the past couple of days now. I love this company, Atlassian, and the product I use for my private repositories, where I store code, especially for my program that I sell and make money off of. Not a lot of money, but the place is called Bitbucket. It's been down. So after we get done recording tonight, I actually have to change a piece of code that will not ask for a piece of information from my repository because it's causing my application to really freak out. And I'm not very excited about that. So Atlassian, please get it together. I need my Bitbucket fixed. Please don't turn to GitHub or I'll have to move my repo somewhere else.
I was going to say, I don't even know what to say about Bitbucket because I don't know enough about it, but if it's anything like GitHub, I would just recommend a force push to the repo, the master branch, and just see what happens.
Next.
This one, I don't know. So there's a couple of aspects to it. I'm going to try and stay as anti-political as I can with this. A judge who was appointed by the former guy has declared that the CDC has no right, essentially, no governance to impose a mask mandate on public transit, despite the fact that judge after judge after judge after judge after judge previously had said, yeah, of course they do. So planes now no longer required to have masks. They've been videos of everybody taking off their masks and swirling them around. I'm getting ready to get on an airplane on Thursday and fly to Chicago. I will definitely be wearing my mask. I don't care how many looks or jeers I get. I've enjoyed not being sick when I fly or just congregate with people that I don't know all that well in general. So for me, the mask will stay.
I'm with you. I have a family member that's got cancer, and I wear a mask in public when I don't know people's because I don't want to be the reason somebody I care and love gets sick. And for all the anti-maskers, it's like these whole their liberties and we want our liberty and freedom. they sure seem to want to crap on everybody else's. So there's no political statement there. Just like the hypocrisy doesn't get any better. And next, speaking of hypocrisy, so you remember when Mark Zuckerberg was saying that Apple and Google rip off developers? I remember. Yeah. I think Apple does. I think the 30%, and I think it's gone to 22 or 25% from Google when you put an app on the Play Store. Is it's not bad, but it's pay to play, right? Well, Zuckerberg says, well, you guys are ripping people off, and you shouldn't charge them that much. So what we're going to do in the metaverse is we're going to charge them 47%.
Makes sense.
And Tim Cook ripped into him. The hypocrisy. So let's say hypothetically you are an app developer and you are selling something on the metaverse, which I don't think is a good idea in the first place. It's 47%. Like, how much are you going to mark up your product to make it worth your while?
Yeah, Etsy actually went through a similar kind of deal recently where they upped their what do you call it? Their commission, I guess it is, for all of the stuff that's sold on there. They increased the percentage again for like the third time in the last 4 or 5 years, to the point where Etsy store owners boycotted or striked against Etsy by essentially taking their stores into vacation mode for the last week. I am not like a massive Etsy guy. Like, I like to go on there every once in a while. It's great for customizing like personalized gifts and stuff like that. I did find the striker for my sweet wolf door knocker on Etsy, which is pretty cool. It was actually really hard to find anywhere else. I know, like, who needs a door knocker? This guy does. It's in the shape of a wolf. It's badass. I'll send you a picture later. But yeah, like, it's just one of those things where companies are greedy in a lot of cases, and Mark Zuckerberg is no different. Like, this dude was never in it for anything other than money and fame and the desire to be popular, I guess. So is this really that shocking to anybody? No.
You know what's shocking to me, and then we can move on, is that I think the only people in this new marketplace of internet sales that really are affected or impacted the most are iOS users. You have to sell. If you're doing anything for iOS, you have to sell it through the App Store, which is just insane. And
isn't there at least some benefit for the end user, though, also through that, in that you have the requirements that Apple has and the safety and security and stuff like that? I know that was an issue on Google phones and devices, Android devices, for a while, was that there wasn't really any or very much of a review of the stuff that was getting put up there, and so people were uploading stuff that was just like rife with malware, and people didn't know any better and they were downloading it, and then their phone got completely hacked. So
yeah, and I'm gonna be kind of like, I've owned an Android and it's been my daily driver for a long time.
Yeah.
Don't download questionable apps. You know the ones. You know, like you know the ones. So I just think that there's got to be, like, charge whatever you want to charge, but if you don't have people developing for your platform, you will soon turn into Palm OS. You will soon turn into BlackBerry. So that's all I got. And we hope that you enjoyed this breaking news. We'll talk to you next time.